Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Uh, we have a situation here where an 18-year-old Shaheem Adams. He's been charged with first-degree manslaughter, accused of in the stabbing death of a classmate who his name is Justin Brady, who is pictured right there. And they both go to Enfield High School in Connecticut, like right north of Hartford. So, and he was in court today. I guess that's his arraignment. I don't know the entire legal process. I'm pretty sure that's what he was there for. The 18-year-old was a mess in court. He fainted after I think he said a prayer, and he was shaking and trembling and crying throughout the entire appearance with members from the community. I think people from the high school shouting things at him. Friends of the kid that was stabbed to death, and then they were ejected from the courtroom, many of them, and the fight continued into the parking lot to the point where it was just chaos, just absolute chaos. One individual was arrested. Actually, I think a person who was there to support the person who's being accused. So, it's just a big giant mess. So it started as some kind of Snapchat argument fight between this person, Shaheem Adams, and the individual who was stabbed to death, Justin Brady. And I think it escalated. Something about the other student accused him of lying to him. Something I think it's probably that just was completely got blown out of control and was totally silly. And these are just sort of, just young, just kids that did something so not smart. And now they're both, one kid is dead, and the other kid's life is permanently never going to be the same. And it's very likely, well, I don't want to prejudge, but it's, his life is never going to be the same. So it's just a big mess. And there's a description. I'll play the court appearance in a second, the report of it. But what was described as the altercation. A witness told investigators the two teens had hung out once before, and that Brady, Justin Brady, the other boy, this kid here, who's a football player, he's an athlete, and his attorney, the person who's being charged, is saying that he had been bullied. This kid, Shaheem Adams, not necessarily by this kid, but at the school in general, to the point where he had to leave the school, and they're blaming that as I guess something that he just snapped, and that he brought a knife with him to this fight. That ended up stabbing him to death, at least according to witnesses. So a witness told investigators that the two teens had hung out once before and that Brady had called Adams out for lying, the arrest warrant affidavit said. Adams told a witness that Brady was going to the Hoover Lane home to smack him. Another witness who was with Brady before the fight said he had been exchanging messages with someone identified as Adams, Shaheem Adams, via Snapchat before saying that they had to leave to get into a fight, the affidavit said. When Adams arrived at the home, witnesses say they saw both he and Brady standing in the road yelling at one another. The argument quickly turned physical, and witnesses recalled seeing the two fighting and Brady and Adams going to the ground, the affidavit said. A witness told investigators that as they fought, Brady yelled, "He's cutting me," and the witness could see Adams stabbing him fast, the affidavit said. Once on the ground, a witness told investigators that Adams was reaching around and stabbing Brady in the back. After they broke apart, Adams took a step back, and Brady looked down. He was covered in blood. A witness told investigators Adams ran into the assistant town attorney's home, and Brady yelled from the yard to call 911. That's where they were. They were in front of, it just so happens, they were in front of the assistant town attorney's house, who is, I don't know if he's named here or not. He is, but I can't find it right now. and I think he's friends with his son, and that's where they started inside that house, and he had grabbed a knife, I believe, and you know, the assistant town attorney's son, I think, wasn't even aware that he had grabbed a knife, I think, from the kitchen. I'm not totally positive of that. So the back and forth messages between Adams and Brady over Snapchat escalated into a meetup and a fight outside 15 Hoover Lane, a home owned by Enfield assistant town attorney Mark Serrato, records show. Brady was found lying in the grass. His white shirt was almost entirely blood-stained, and he had a difficult time breathing, according to the arrest warrant affidavit. Brady was transported to Bay State Medical Center in Springfield and pronounced dead at 1:30 a.m. Monday. So this happened, you know, Sunday night into the early morning hours of Monday morning. The arrest warrant affidavit said witnesses recounted seeing Adams stab Brady several times in the fight. Adams had grabbed a knife from inside the home before he went outside to meet with Brady, the affidavit said. Some of those witnesses fled the Hoover Lane home after the stabbing. According to the affidavit, items of clothing with blood-like stains, cellular telephones, and 2 knives were located and secured. One of the knives was located between the box spring and mattress in one of the bedrooms. And that's how the altercation went down. And then in court today, his arraignment, where they were establishing his bond and so forth. I think he has the public defender, senior assistant public defender, Ann Goulet, told Pratts the Adams family wanted the bond reduced to $50,000. She argued the teen had no past criminal record and had been the victim of an alleged assault that resulted in him being hospitalized. Goulet also said Adams had been bullied so bad at Enfield High School, where Brady also attended, that he was forced to leave school. Pratt settled on a new bond of $750,000 and transferred the case to Superior Court in Hartford, which handles more serious crimes. As Goulet spoke on Adams' behalf, the teen sat in a chair, shaking and crying. As marshals led him out of the courtroom, he told his family, "I love you. I promise I'm not a bad person." And here's what happened in court. It was pretty crazy. We're outside court.
Family, friends, everything. He was a good person. He did not deserve this.
As fighting erupted from inside the hearing before spilling into the parking lot, people throwing punches and profanities. That's my best friend! Moments earlier, 18-year-old Shaheem Trey Adams, now charged with first-degree manslaughter in the stabbing death of 16-year-old Enfield High School junior Justin Brady, fell to the ground at his arraignment, apparently fainting as a half-dozen supporters of the victim shouted obscenities and were escorted out.
I couldn't control myself, and
All right, man. Well, that's pretty much the story there. And obviously not a good situation. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.